Hey everybody, welcome to Represent Jesus Well, an RCC podcast where we're all about uncovering ways people endure, live, and lead that represent Jesus well. And today's a special one. Today's a unique, fun one that we're kind of dropping in here just for fun because it's Christmas.
Yay.
I know, aren't you so excited?
I'm super excited.
Let me introduce to you my guest today. I'm super grateful that she's here. She's put in a ton of work this week and leading up to today because the kids are performing some stuff that is happening on Sunday. If you're listening to this on Sunday, then you just saw it or you're about to see it. It's going to be great. So thanks for that. And my guest today is our children's director, our RCC Kids director, Shauna Reimche. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being on here. It's going to be super fun. We have a bunch of silly stuff to talk about. Have a little fun with Christmas. But before we get into it, you're fairly new to this role. Mm-hmm. So you're jumping in and you're doing awesome. I'm curious, though, if you could just tell everybody so they get to know you a bit more about you and your family.
Okay. Well, my family and I moved to the area about a year ago, so we're new here. I've been married to my husband, John, for 16 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have 3 kids. We have an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. We like to camp. We love to take road trips. We love to have pizza and a movie. So we just like spending time together.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. I'm curious. So we're at Christmas time and we're thinking about all that kind of stuff. Do you guys have like a favorite family tradition when it comes to Christmas time?
Yes. One of my favorite Christmas traditions is when we all get matching Christmas pajamas.
That's amazing.
Yes, we are that family.
You do like a big photo shoot with it too and everything?
No. We don't take that far. We just like getting all cozy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so great. I'm not big on the like PJ matching thing. I'm just me. I'm not a big PJ person. Like I'd rather put like sweats on.
Yes.
But like PJs. So
yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then with that, I'm curious. As you think about kids and Christmas, I mean, you guys are getting ready for this big, fun Christmas little program that we're doing on Sunday.
Yes.
And kids have been singing all kinds of Christmas carols. What has changed and shaped you when you think about joy? Because this is the last topic for Advent and our series Foretold is joy.
Yeah.
And it says you've worked with these kids and had them singing these Christmas carols and talking about the Christmas story. How has that shaped how you view joy and in regards to Christmas?
I think kids have a very unique approach to life because they're so innocent. And their joy is less filtered, I guess you could say. It's just more, when they're happy about something, they're really happy about it. And they show it. And I love that. I love seeing that. I love seeing their happiness and I love seeing their connections to one another because joy is shared, right?
Yeah, it is.
So when you have someone to share it with, it just multiplies tenfold. So I like seeing that too. That's
awesome. When you guys are sitting in the kids area next door, in the apartment building next door, right? How is that for you guys? Are they silly?
Yeah. Well, it's fun to see all their different personalities because some are silly with it, some are very reserved with it, some are more quiet, and some are not quiet. And so I love that. I love how we're all made to be so unique and so different, and I love it when people and kids feel like they can be themselves.
Yeah, you're awesome about that. I can tell that you're somebody who really genuinely wants each person to very much be themselves and be comfortable in their own skin, and that's a really cool thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of being yourself, I thought it might be fun to have a little bit of a lightning round during this today.
Let's do it.
Okay,
yes.
So just some fun Christmas facts about Shauna.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm totally ready.
Okay. First one is this. It's favorite Christmas movie.
White Christmas and Elf.
Okay. If you had to pick between the two.
White Christmas?
Okay. That's curious.
That's really hard. Okay.
Okay. Then favorite Christmas treats. If you got to eat something at Christmas, it's sweet, it's baked, or whatever it is. What's your favorite Christmas treat?
Okay. There is this one cookie recipe that I love. Angel cookies.
Okay.
They're like a sugar cookie, but better.
How are they better?
the texture, they're kind of crumbly, but they're a little bit chewy in the middle. And I don't know how to describe it.
So my next question is, when are you bringing them to
Oh,
the office?
okay. Actually, I wonder if I did.
You might have.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. This is a really important one. Real tree or artificial tree?
Both.
Okay, you win.
We do both.
Do you really?
Yes, we do.
Okay, where do you put them? Like, do you have them in different places throughout the house? Like,
yes,
okay.
we do. Okay, so for my birthday's in November, we put up our Christmas tree, and that's our fake tree that we got from my grandparents for a wedding gift.
So on your birthday, you're so excited about Christmas that you put a Christmas tree up.
Yes, that's how I celebrate my birthday.
That's awesome. Okay.
And that's actually a tradition, and the kids look forward to it every year. They know when it's my birthday that we put our tree up. And then after Thanksgiving, we get a real tree.
Do you go and cut it? Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
Well, I don't cut it. John cuts it.
Okay. That makes sense. Very good. I think we've had real trees always, and then like this is our first year we've had an artificial one, and it's like we don't know. I'm not sure when we're gonna get out to get one, so we're gonna get one up.
Yes.
And then, but I'm excited to go back to cutting it down because
Yeah,
it's fun.
it
This
is
year
fun.
this works. It's beautiful. It's great, but I can't wait to cut it down again.
Yeah.
There's something about getting sap on your hands, and not being able to get it off for a week. That's always fun. Okay. If you had to choose between having a white Christmas and like snow or Christmas on the beach, which would you choose?
This one's so easy. White Christmas.
Okay, why?
Yeah.
You love the snow.
I love the snow. I actually love the beach more than snow, but there's something about a white Christmas. It's so cozy, and it's how I grew up. So definitely white Christmas.
Okay, good answer. I'm definitely at white Christmas. There's no way I'd want to spend Christmas on a beach. I don't know, just me.
Yeah.
I can like the next day. You're right. Like I can get on an airplane
Yes.
the day after Christmas and go to the beach, but not on Christmas
Not
Day.
Christmas. Yep.
All right. I think you already answered this question, but are you a fan of matching Christmas PJs?
Totally.
Okay.
1000% love it.
Okay, good job. And then holiday drink. So at holiday time, like coffee shops and stuff, they bring out these different ones. Would you rather do a pumpkin spice latte or a gingerbread latte?
If I had to pick between those two, I'd probably pick gingerbread. But honestly, when I go to coffee shops, I just like plain coffee with cream.
Okay.
Or herbal tea.
Herbal tea. All right.
Yes.
Plain coffee and cream and herbal tea. Good to know. How about best place to spend Christmas Eve?
With my family.
Okay. I love it. That's awesome. That's so good. That's great. So spend Christmas Eve with your family, cozied up. So do you guys have anything that you do on Christmas Eve?
Well, we love to go to church on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And yeah, we just eat a lot and visit with family and yeah, just enjoy each other. And
Do you let the kids stay up late? Do you like rush them off to bed?
No. We just let them enjoy the festivities.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then are they like early risers the next morning?
I'd say they kind of get up at the same time no matter what, but yeah, maybe a little bit earlier than normal.
Okay.
They're excited.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're talking about joy, and it's fun because it's such a joyful thing to talk about, and to talk about Christmas and all these things put together. It's so much fun. But when we talk about joy, one of the things that comes to mind is just very simply gratitude. And when you count blessings, right, like you begin to experience this thing that's in your life. It's really sweet and profound. As you think about it, about joy and gratitude, are they connected? One of the things that comes to mind for me is actually our staff meetings, because at the beginning of our staff meeting, we list off things that we're grateful for, and I've never experienced someone as fun to talk about gratitude stuff as you. You have this thing where you start just naming off silly, goofy, fun things, but you're earnestly grateful for these things. And so I'm just curious, can you just tell me a little bit about why that's the case? Like what got you to the place where you're just all about gratitude?
So every year I don't know how long I've been doing this, but I pick one word to focus on.
Sure.
And one year I did pick gratitude.
Okay.
And so that year I was practicing gratitude, and I would write down something I was grateful for every day. And after a while, I had to get really creative on things I was grateful for. And so I think that's when it started. And I started realizing there was very small things that I was genuinely grateful for. And sometimes I would approach it in a backwards way, like, if I didn't have this, would I miss it?
Yeah.
And if I would miss it, then I thought, I'm actually really grateful for this. So things like toothpaste or hot water or just little things, that a bed to sleep in, being able to read, and being able to hear music, things like that. Like, wow, I'm so glad I get to do those things.
Yeah, totally. What's fun about it is at the staff meetings, when you bring those things up, it always pushes the rest of us to just be aware. It's not like we have to work hard at it, but as soon as you say those things, it's like, oh yeah, duh. Like, of course, like we should be grateful for those things. And here I'm like searching for something to be grateful for, but there's so much.
Yeah.
And it's a bit overwhelming, but just the practice of naming those things. And I love what you said. What do I have that if I didn't have, it would be really hard? And that's just really cool. When you come into Christmas time, do you practice it yourself? Like, do you think about things that you're grateful for as a practice with your family, or is there anything that goes into that with you?
Yeah. Sometimes we'll talk about things we're thankful for, like at the end of the day, but it's nice for me if I just kind of do it as I go about my day.
Yeah.
Just recognizing little things.
Yeah.
That really helps me. And like I said, I did have to practice, the year I did gratitude, and I was doing it every day. So now it comes pretty easily. Yeah. But I did have to work for it in the beginning. And so I'd recommend just doing a little experiment and trying it, just trying to think of something you're grateful for every day. And you might be surprised what you come up with.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that when you start to think about it, and the things that you're like, oh man, like I'd never realized that this was such a big deal, but it's amazing that I have this in my life. That's awesome. Yeah. Sometimes I have been grateful in different seasons where I've had like a commute. Where like I'll have to drop kids off or something, and all of a sudden I get like 5 minutes in the car without any interruptions. And in certain seasons, that's amazing.
Yes.
It's so great.
I totally agree.
That's awesome. Like peace and quiet. Peace. There we go.
Yeah.
We just talked about that a couple weeks ago, or last week. Okay. I'm curious. That also leads me to something else. When you interviewed for the position, there was one thing that stuck out more than anything else in your interview that really made me excited about you leading our kids and being part of our team. And it was your knack for being curious. You said something like, I love meeting new and different people who are so much different than me because I have so much to learn. And I love just exploring and having conversations with them and just being curious. And so as you think about that, why is it that you think that you have that desire? What is it that you've learned over time, or what is it about your background or your history that's made you just curious about people in that way?
That's a really good question. And as I'm thinking about it now, I feel like that's something that's always come naturally to me. So maybe it started when I was really young. I've always liked to read. And so reading about other people's stories and points of view, I really liked that. And then as I grew older and my world grew and I was able to meet more people and we moved different places, even meeting people from different countries and stuff like that, I'm always blown away by how creative God is, right? Because we're all so different and we're so alike, but we're so different. And I love that. I love that paradox of you and me. We have things in common, and then we have things we don't have in common. And I'm just really curious about what makes people tick and what they like, what they don't like. And I really enjoy that.
That's awesome. I think it's really cool because when you start to peel back those layers and you stop being afraid of finding new and different things, it reveals this whole world that is just exciting and fun. And I love how you put it. Like, it actually points you to God. Like, God's amazing. Like, He literally designed us to be each our own unique person.
Yes.
And that's incredible.
It is. So cool.
I love that. When I first talked to you about doing a podcast, you're a little hesitant. And one of the reasons you're hesitant is because I think that you had a fear of being, for lack of a better word, pegged.
Yeah.
Like this is who you are. and like there's no dimension to it and that sort of a thing. Like this is without getting to know you, like people wouldn't get to know you, right? Because they already feel like they know who you are, right? Does that sum that up well?
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable being put in a box, and I don't like doing that to other people either, because there's, like we were just talking about, there's always something new to learn. There's always a different dimension to someone that you weren't aware of previously. And so I was hesitant because I thought, oh, this short amount of time with these few amount of questions, it would be a little bit of me. Yeah. And so people are getting to know a little bit of me, but not the whole picture.
Yeah, which is exciting that like you'll get to be known more as people get to know you more.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's an invitation, hopefully, in part. But then also I thought it'd be extra fun to say or to ask you, what's something that people might be surprised to learn about you? Okay.
So people might be surprised to know that when I was a child, I had depression and anxiety.
Okay.
But I came out of it.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm thankful to God for that. I was voted most common sense in my senior year. I got my nose pierced twice in college. The first time I got it, I took it out because I got a job and they didn't want me to wear it. So I took the job and I did it. And then when I was done with the job, I got it back. I love to travel. In college, I took a weekend road trip to the Grand Canyon from Denver. I was living in Denver at the time. And one of my really good friends, she was like, hey, let's go to the Grand Canyon. And I was like, okay. So we took 2 other girls with us and we took shifts driving and we went there and back. So yeah, we did that. I was in a couple of Scheels advertisements.
What? It's awesome. Like speaking parts are just like sitting in there and like
just like the print.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
The print, yeah. And then I went to Europe when I was pregnant with Isabel.
So you traveled to Europe and did how pregnant were you? How long were you?
I don't remember the months, but I just remember I was like, I don't know, I was about this pregnant. Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
That's great.
So we did that.
How was that flight?
It was actually pretty good. I was spoiled a little bit because they put me they upgraded my seat because I was pregnant.
That's very kind of them.
So then poor John was in a middle row like this the whole time. And it was nice.
That's great. Yeah. Best flight you ever had.
That's right. It was.
That's awesome. Those are awesome. Man, what I love about that is I didn't know 9 out of 10 of those, and we've got to know each other over the last little bit of you working here. So it's fun to explore the depths of people and be curious and ask more questions because you never know what you're going to find out.
Yeah.
Did you hike down into the Grand Canyon?
No, we didn't. We just went to the ledge part.
Okay. You looked over and then drove back?
Yeah, pretty much. We were so tired by that point, but it was amazing. It felt surreal. It felt like I was looking at a picture. That's how pretty it was.
That's amazing. That's it's on my bucket list. We haven't gone yet, so
I
want to go.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. There's so much in here, and what I love about it is there's a common thread for you. There's the thread of wanting to get to know people. Mm-hmm. There's the thread of curiosity. There's the thread of finding joy and gratitude, and the thread of being willing to say, you probably don't know me fully, so you should be curious about me too, which I think is actually really good. Like I think that when we practice that back and forth, it's so amazing the depth that we get to find with people. The last question I want to get at with you is a thought about wonder. Christmas season, there's this beautiful thing that happens for so many people. And maybe it's because we live in the north and we get to experience snow, and it is a bit of a wonder with that exemplifies or amplifies it. But there's something about living with wonder and living in wonder of the Christmas story, and what God has done through Jesus that brings about this joy. And I'm curious for you, and also as you worked with kids a little bit just this last little few weeks leading up to Christmas, what aspects of wonder have you found to be fun and joy-giving?
Well, when I think about that question, I'm reminded of a year that I picked joy for my word.
Great.
And that was one of my favorite years. And I learned about joy that year that there's different elements that can go into the feeling of joy. And one of them was awe, being awed. It gives you a sense of profound joy. So I think of wonder and awe. And just that when you're able to be something that stops you in your tracks and fills you with a sense of amazement. Wow.
Yeah.
Like that feeling that I got at the Grand Canyon. Like, wow, that's amazing. It's so beautiful. And then there's this element of surprise too, being surprised by joy. And that fills you with a sense of wonder because you weren't expecting it to happen and it happened.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned snow, and I think of rainbows too. Like you see a rainbow you're not expecting to. Wow, you stop and you look at it, even though maybe you've seen one before, but being surprised, and it gives you that sense of wonder too.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I think there is a sense in which when we allow ourselves to feel like kids again and actually wonder at things and stop and look and point and say, oh, wow, look at that, that's amazing. There's something about it. And I love Christmas season because it's an excuse to wonder again. And it's a reason that even adults can take the time to think, man, God would do that. God would do this amazing thing and come as a child and all these pieces that go into the story and the intricacies, and to wonder about it and to think, man, that actually does change my life. That does make me wonder at the way that God's worked. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I really like the word wonder because it can be taken two different ways. So like awe and wonder, but then I wonder, being curious.
Yeah.
And so there's that overlap, curiosity and awe kind of combining, if you think about it that way. I will say being a mom has changed my experience of Christmas so much.
Tell me about that.
Because when you're talking about Jesus coming, being a mom now 3 times, the best days of my life were the days my kids were born. Hands down, best day. When they were finally in my arms, and just picturing Jesus as a tiny, tiny, helpless little baby like that is something that fills me with wonder and awe. It's amazing.
Because it's so precious. It's so delicate.
Yes.
So, yeah. Tiny toes, right?
Yeah, tiny toes, tiny fingers, and amazing.
That's we have a staff member who they just had their little baby girl, and every single time I see a newborn, I'm like, they're so small. Right. They're just so small. Yeah. It's the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
Oh man. Thank you so much for talking about this. Thanks for going through the lightning round. Thanks for taking care of our kids and having some fun. And leading them. We are so grateful to have you on staff, and so grateful to have you as part of this team and part of this church, and you and your family as well. We love them. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I had a blast.
Awesome. And Merry Christmas, everybody. If you're getting this before Christmas, hope you have a fantastic Christmas and New Year. And with that, we'll see you next time.